Experience driving perfection in the 2011 Subaru Impreza WRX. Reads the jolly advert. With less than 10,000 miles on the odometer, this four-door sedan prioritizes comfort, safety and convenience, it earnestly continues. Subaru made sure to keep road handling and sportiness at the top of its priority list. For 139 words, the advert extols the virtues of an Impreza WRX saloon, but fails to touch on the one defining feature of the specific car it has for sale: it's a flipping convertible. So we don't know how the soft top of this four-door works, who made it, how much time and money was invested in its mechanism and materials. Important information when it's an aftermarket rather than factory job. We suspect comfort, safety and convenience weren't prioritized in the chopping job that allowed for that roof to be fitted, though. We also suspect road handling and sportiness weren't at the top of the priority list. Want it? Good news, as it's for sale in Manchester, the American one, in New Hampshire, for $26,967. That's about £21,000. Given there are no rally-bred sports saloon convertible rivals to compare it to, we're not sure if that's a bargain or not.
It was already over 100 degrees when I pulled into our pit area at the racetrack outside Barstow, California. I would be off-road racing in a few hours, but for the time being, I had ample opportunity to play in the dirt with the 2016 Nissan Frontier Pro 4X pickup truck. I grabbed a PAL, dropped the tire pressure on the Hankook Dinapo ATMS to 28Si, and headed out to the open desert. What I found surprised me. The Frontier scrambled up the mountain the locals call Starter Ridge, the four-wheel drive system and 281 pound-feet of torque propelling me up the steep and rocky slope like it was a walk in the proverbial park. We stopped at a flat spot on the hill and noticed a motorcycle rider on the highest peak, watching us with interest. "Let's give him a show," I said to my co-driver. A single push of a button locked my rear differential and I switched the transmission into 4L. With 9 inches of ground clearance, the Frontier clambered over a small sea of rocks to gain even more elevation. Alas, the trail turned to one better suited for 2 wheels than 4, and we turned back. To be honest, I knew the Pro 4X, the off-road trim of the mid-size Frontier, would be good in the dirt as soon as I sat behind the wheel. It's simple. Everything about it is simple. There are no terrain select giggles to get in the way. Just a simple electronic locking rear differential, Bilstein shocks and a shift-on-the-fly 4x4 system. Frankly, I don't need much more than that. Well, on second thought, a B-Fire Dana 44 rear axle would help, something Nissan should make standard on each Pro 4X. Currently, it's only available in the smaller King Cab Pro 4X or SVV6 trims, not the larger crew cab. Unfortunately, the rest of the tech is simple as well. You want a 7-inch touchscreen? Too bad, you get a dinky 5.8-inch color touchscreen. Adaptive cruise control? Nope, drivers must deal with regular cruise control. Sure, it has Bluetooth, satellite radio, iPod connectivity, voice control and a 10-speaker Rockford Fosgate premium audio system, but on the whole the tech is so 2000 late. On the pavement the Frontier is a bit on the loud side, but sports a surprisingly comfortable ride. The 4-liter V6 engine puts out 261 horsepower and 281 pound-feet of torque. A 6-speed manual is standard, but my test model came with the optional 5-speed automatic. I found the engine delivered plenty of power for highway cruising and the 8-way adjustable seat kept me comfy for my 6-hour trek from roadshow headquarters in San Francisco to the high desert. The transmission shifted smoothly and downshifted quickly while going over Tehachapi Pass outside of Bakersfield, California. I wish I could say the same for the brakes. The pedal feel was squishy, and more than once I panicked, Okra cycled through my brain while stopping for a light. Word to the wise, leave plenty of room between cars and brake early. I picked up a few friends for dinner in the Frontier, and the rear seat passengers felt that there was a decent amount of legroom, but the seats were uncomfortably upright and they were thankful the ride was a short jaunt across town. My tester didn't come with a tow hitch, but with a rating of 6,100 pounds it could have easily towed my off-road race car on its open trailer. However, the Frontier would have struggled pulling our 20-foot enclosed trailer all loaded up. Payload is just over 1,000 pounds, enough for a few spare tires and a 55-gallon drum of race fuel. In terms of competition, the Toyota Tacoma can tow up to 6,800 pounds and has a payload rating of 1,440 pounds. The Chevrolet Colorado with an available diesel engine can tow a whopping 7,600 pounds. My week of toddling around town and playing in the desert, as well as the 600-plus mile round trip on the highway, netted me 16.8 miles per gallon, a bit lower than I would expect with the EPA's rating of 15 miles per gallon in the city, 21 on the highway and 17 combined. The similarly equipped Toyota Tacoma 1 tested a few months back turned in 17.8 miles per gallon, and I took that bad boy on a road trip as well. The 2016 Nissan Frontier is available with a king or crew cab and either a 5 or 6 foot bed. My tester in the Pro 4X trim with a crew cab and short bed starts at $33,390. With options and destination charges the total comes to $36,525. I could do without the optional Inazimoronic Pro 4X luxury package, for $2,100. Luxury while off-roading? Who needs it? The sunroof baked the leather seats while out on the trail and led to glare so intense as to render the infotainment screen unreadable. The Frontier is the old stalwart of mid-size pickup trucks. It certainly lags behind the updated Toyota Tacoma and Chevrolet Colorado, and doesn't hold a candle to the downright luxurious GMC Canyon. Indeed, the competition is priced similarly and offers more features and interior technology. Instead, the Frontier is a truck for those who just want a truck. It's simple, easy, performs well off-road and offers a comfortable ride on road. Just don't expect anything too fancy. The second-generation Subaru XV compact SUV is apparently 95% new. It doesn't look it. A side-by-side comparison with a first-gen XV confirms sleeker headlights and tail lights, a more upright grille, different fog light surrounds and a slightly changed treatment of the lower rear bumper. Even the cladding around the wheel arches looks the same and the fundamental shape is, well, very familiar. Believe it or not, the sheet metal, which is shared with the latest Impreza small car, is all new too. Check the vital measurements and the new XV is 15 mm longer, 20 mm wider and has a 30 mm longer wheelbase than its predecessor. Overall height is exactly the same. Boot space is identical at 310 liters, although split-fold the rear seat and it grows to 765 liters, 24 liters more than before. Clearly, Subaru has decided not to mess with a successful formula, visually at last. Under the skin, it's a different story. The latest XV is based on the new Subaru Global platform, which Impreza debuted late in 2016. It's claimed to deliver all sorts of benefits in terms of dynamics, refinement and safety. On the latter point, the XV is a 5-star ANCAP performer. The latest version of Subaru's FB 22.0-liter direct-injection 4-cylinder engine drives all four wheels via a continuously variable transmission. This is now the only transmission available as manual models have been dispensed with. Underneath, the XV picks up Subaru's updated constant all-wheel drive system featuring active torque vectoring handling assistance and the Forester's X-Mode system to bolster low-speed off-road capability. Mike Sinclair went into this in some detail in his first drive of the new XV in Japan earlier this year. Output is up to 115 kilowatts and 196 Newton-meters, a bump of 5 kilowatts, but 0 Newton-meters, over the previous XV. Considering the top specification 2.0 IS model we're testing here is 34 kilograms heavier than its predecessor at 1484 kilograms, it's fair to suggest you won't be noticing the power boost. Yeah, it's familiar and sadly, a bit underwhelming. If ever an engine could use a turbocharger for some low-rev torque assistance, this is it. Or swap it for the 2.5-liter Boxer from the Forester. The engine does perk up from about 4,000 RPMs and by then it's starting to get pretty noisy, not unruly but intrusive. Mundane, earnest, uncomplaining, uninspiring. That's Subaru's FB20. It's saved from being a deal-breaker by the CVT. Yes, you read that right. Where the old XV's 4-speed auto struggled to match gear ratio with torque sweet spot, the lean R-tronic smoothly ebbs and flows up and down the range. It can't overcome the engine's lack of guts, but it can at least shield us from hyperactive gear changing. Even so, you'll find yourself quite frequently manipulating the 7 predetermined computerized steps, either via paddle shifters or the gear lever, to get the XV moving along with a bit more speed. For instance, if you want a bit more motivation out of a tight uphill corner. All this revving doesn't help fuel economy, of course, but the good news is it never blew out beyond 8.6 L/100 kilometers, versus Subaru's unchanged 7.0 L/100 kilometers claim, during our testing. An unobtrusive start-stop system helps keep fuel use under control, while fuel cost is aided by the XV's use of the cheapest 91 Romanian lei fuel. Subaru isn't telling porkies when it gets all excited about the improvements delivered by its new chassis architecture. Just like the latest Impreza, the new XV really is a more enjoyable and quieter car to drive than its predecessor. The real achievement is in the ride, which is nicely balanced between comfort and ride control. It's not soggy like the Forester, nor as harsh and jittery as the Mazda CX-3. Take a bow, Subaru chassis engineers, for such a nice tune of the XV's combination of McPherson struts and double wishbones. Underscoring that impressive ride, the XV delivers light, direct steering and handling which is forgiving and confident. Around town it's easy to maneuver, and on the open road it settles down without fuss. It handles winding roads without drama, or elan for that matter. It just gets on with the job. On gravel, the XV displays a similar surety. Grip during accelerating, braking and cornering is composed. From the driver's seat, the XV is not only pleasing because of the way it drives. Like the Impreza, it also provides a definite step up in cabin quality. Materials quality and trimmings, ergonomics, front seat support and the infotainment technology, including an 8.0-inch color touchscreen which dominates the center stack of the 2.0 IS, are all significantly improved. In the rear, legroom is stretched, meaning the XV can fit 4 adults in comfort. There are plenty of storage spaces all round and multiple USB ports, 2 of which support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. They're the ones hidden in the bin in the center stack, not the ones in the lidded bin between the seats. The design of the XV also ensures visibility is terrific for the driver all around the car, something helped by a reversing camera and parking sensors. Issues? Sure. The steering wheel is a busy convention of buttons, stalks and paddles. The rear seat is pretty flat and the boot, most disappointingly, has a high load lip and lacks any real underfloor wet bin storage. Come on Subaru, aren't you brand for the adventurous, the folk who frequently load damp, muddy gear in the rear? Retailing at $35,240 plus on road costs, the 2.0 IS sits at the head of a 4-model XV range. That pricing pitches it right up against the all-wheel drive CX-3 Akari and Toyota CHR Koba, as well as the front-wheel drive Nissan Qashqai and Honda HR-V VL. For more on the other models in the XV range, check out Andrea Matthews' launch review. Headline safety gear includes a full suite of driver assist systems marketed by Subaru under the EyeSight package. Included are blind spot monitoring, high beam assist, which works really well, lane change assist, rear cross traffic alert and reverse automatic braking. Other unique 2.0 IS gear includes 18-inch alloy wheels, leather accented seat trim, a power driver's seat and LED headlights. Stuff it shares with other XV variants includes 7 airbags, lane keep assist, an electric sunroof, satellite navigation, dual-zone climate control and cruise control. What's missing? A proper full-size tire is a surprising omission considering Subaru talks about this vehicle's off-road credentials. At least the Temporary is not one of those horrible donuts. You may not pick it at first sight, or even after a short test drive around the block, but the new XV is a significantly improved vehicle. It has a level of refinement and interior smarts which frankly blows away its predecessor. Unfortunately, what it doesn't do is blow it away in a straight line. The drivetrain is undoubtedly this car's weakness for now. We like the XV. But add some low to mid-range engine response and we could end up loving it.